Yes, good evening. Good evening from Beirut. Good evening from Lebanon, a country that is under a big war.
True, sir.
Lebanon is now suffering from an Israeli war, and what is going on recently is an attack against the UNIFIL peacekeeping forces in the south of Lebanon. Of course, this will impact in one way or another the mission of the peacekeeping troops in the south of Lebanon, and it will escalate the situation. Let me remind you, first, let me remind you that I'm not a journalist, I'm a political science teacher
Sorry, sir.
and the
Very
head of
sorry. Very
Statistics
sorry,
Lebanon.
sir.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yes. But let me remind you that in 1967 and 1973, the peacekeeping troops were asked to leave the borders between Egypt and Israel, and that led to the biggest war in the region at that time in 1967 and in 1973. Whenever the UNIFIL or the peacekeeping troops are asked to leave a country, a borderline, that means we are heading towards a big war in the region. I think the escalation will find its place in Lebanon very soon, very shortly, in the coming 2 weeks or 1 week or in few days, because a bad sign is asking the UNIFIL or shooting on the UNIFIL troops and the peacekeeping troops in the south of Lebanon. And today we have heard a lot of Israeli officials asking the UNIFIL what they are doing, forces that they are assisting Hezbollah in the south. I feel, and I know, and I can analyze very well that the peacekeeping troops are keeping the stabilization in the south of Lebanon, the stability situation in the south of Lebanon. And the time they leave, the situation will escalate.
How do you view, sir, the international response to the incidents involving the UN peacekeepers? And why does Israel insist on them leaving the borders?
The international response on the incident was very weak, extremely weak. We cannot give a speech on TV to state that we are against, not us, the international community, against what happened against the UNIFIL. They should act. They should go to the General Assembly or to the UN and ask for a clarification from Israel and accuse Israel of attacking the UNIFIL. And this is the least they can do. But go on TV and say that they are against is nothing, is not an action.
Okay, sir, why is Israel insisting on the UNIFIL leaving at this point, or the peacekeepers? Why are they insisting now?
Because they need to do an action against the south of Lebanon. They may do a terrestrial invasion, a terrestrial attack. They want to invade from the points of demarcation where the UN troops are localized, and this would be a clarification of or like a light on what Israel is planning to do in the coming few days.
So, sir, your assessment is that the United States and the United Kingdom and France, which are the main key players, are not making any action or enough action against Israel in this context?
They should take a decision or a decree in the UN just to stop Israel from executing what they are planning for. They should be more clear in their position, and they should take a quick position from what Israel is doing right now.
Sir, in what ways do the recent incidents involving UNIFIL violate international law? And what legal repercussions could Israel face as a result, sir? Your intake, please.
They should reinforce the position of the UNIFIL, ask the UNIFIL to stay in its position, do a quick meeting in the General Assembly or in the UN agencies, just to reinforce the position of the UNIFIL and ask them to stay in their position and clarify what Israel is doing in front of the international community.
Sir, how do you assess the situation in Lebanon in 10 seconds as we have to wrap up this segment now? And how do you feel towards the Lebanese as citizens in Lebanon at this point?
The situation is very critical. We are expecting more and more escalation.
It's no more. It's no more a border war. It's a regional war, sir. Right?
Sorry.
It's no more a border war. It's shifted to being a regional war now.
Who says no?
I'm asking you. I'm asking you, sir.
The retaliation of Israel against Iran, and all will be decided after what the steps taken by Israel against Iran and the retaliation of Iran against the retaliation of Israel. But I think that the Lebanon war will be more tough, and it will escalate more in the coming few weeks and days.